Good morning. Hope you're having a great beginning to your Monday. So, one of my most special memories of taking the family to Israel, which we've done countless times, is when we took a tour of the city of David, which goes back all the way to King David, nearly 3,000 years ago. And near the Shiluach River, which is by the city of David, they found the road. The archaeologists undug the road where Jewish travelers, in the Torah it says 3 times a year you come to Jerusalem to see God and to pray at the temple. They found the actual road, the stones that Jews over 2,000 years ago walked to go to Jerusalem to pray on the holy days. And it was interesting, you saw these huge bricks, and it was under a tunnel now because they're still digging it. And on the sides were these places they told you where there were booths where people would stand and you could buy things, and the Jewish people would walk there and come up to Temple Mount where they would pray at the temple. And imagine, I was there with my wife and my 10 children, and we were able to walk up that road. It was just wow. And one of the times my parents were with us, and I remember the Talmud tells us that when the Jewish people would walk up that road and go towards the Temple Mount, they would sing a song. Yivarechecha Hashem mitzion urei b'tuv Yerushalayim. May God bless you from Zion and see the good of Jerusalem. And then it would continue, Urei vanim levanecha shalom ha'Yisrael. May you see nachas from your children, peace for Israel. And today we have the song, Yivarechecha Hashem mitzion. So here I am, my wife, myself, my 10 children, and we're walking up this road with my parents. And I remember I had the little one on the shoulders, and we started singing this song. And our guide was standing with us. I said, look at this. Here you have 3 generations. You're walking on this hallowed ground that was walked on by millions of Jews over thousands of years. And you're singing the same song they sang. It was a very moving thing. And one of the things our guide showed us was the Even HaTohen. What was the Even HaTohen? There was a big stone on that road in middle where people would come to claim their lost objects, and people that found objects would come to announce it there and say who lost this object. And that stone, the Even HaTohen, from the time of the temple, was literally still there. Thousands of years later they uncovered it. How remarkable. You see, in today's Torah portion, the Torah tells us clearly, when you find an ox or a sheep of your friend, of your brother, you can't ignore it and say, oh, it's lost, but I don't want to have the obligation of returning it. You have to take it and returning it. One of the laws of the Torah is what's called Hashavat Aveda, which means you must return a lost object. You can't just take it, you have to return it. But most importantly, the Torah tells us, someone might say, why should I return a lost object? Why should I look at it and then I have to announce it and go to the Even HaTohen and call out and someone has to find it? It's a burden, so I'm going to ignore it. I'm going to make believe that it's not there and I won't see it. Warns us the Torah in today's Torah portion. Lo tuchal litalem. It's a biblical commandment that if you see a lost object, don't ignore it and say, I don't want the burden of having to return it, but focus on it. And the rabbis tell us that this is not just a literal object, but it's a metaphor for lost souls, for those struggling, for those in pain, for those challenged. We could just turn our eye, or we could look at this lost object and return it to where it belongs. I think about what's gone on this past year and how many Jews are feeling lost. How many Jews are feeling pain? How many Jews are hoping they could find their way closer to their Jewish community, closer to the Jewish people, and maybe to understand what's going on. Why is there so much hate? Why does everyone focus on Israel and anti-Semitism instead of love and nurture? And it's interesting, because the month of Elul, and the time we're in now, is the month of Teshuvah. It's the month of returning. And what the Torah is really telling us is that it's each and every one of our obligations when we see a lost object, but also when we see a lost soul, when we see someone yearning to be closer to the Jewish community, when we see someone yearning to connect to their Judaism, to their family, to their community. Maybe they're feeling ostracized, maybe they're feeling lost, maybe they're feeling they don't belong. It's our responsibility not to ignore it. Lo tuchal litalem, the Torah tells us, but to look and see and bring them closer and include them. And the truth is that that's what the Rebbe taught us when he started the Chabad centers all over the world. Just this week alone, on Friday, I got 2 calls from people visiting campuses where their children were either going to go or their children started, and their children were searching, and they said, Rabbi, could you connect me so they could go for Shabbat to their rabbi? So often I get a call, someone's in town, could we join you for Shabbat or the holidays? What the Rebbe taught us is that it's our job as a community, it's our job as Jews, never to ignore a lost object, and to always nurture it and bring it back, especially in this time. And may God give us, each and every one of us, that as we are coming upon the high holidays in less than 4 weeks, that we each find the things that we lost. We each find the people that we lost, and we reconnect, and we unite stronger. Instead of division, we need unity. Instead of bickering, we need love. Instead of telling people what they shouldn't do, we need to be able to bring them closer and tell them what they should do to connect, to be Am Echad, to be one nation, one community, one unity. Am Yisrael Chai. Have a great day.